Hi, good morning. I'm Key Browning. I'm a mind, body, spirit life coach and a registered yoga teacher and the author of Zenergy. And today we're going to be doing chair yoga. So while you're likely sitting at your chair right now, but let's go ahead and just start with some finger movements here. These can be really helpful. We'll go through each of the fingers, moving to the index. This can be very helpful if you have arthritis or arthritic feeling in your hands, circling through that ring finger and pinky. And let's go back in the other direction. Good. And moving each finger independently. Look at your fingers, look at your hands, and tell your hands to make a circle, or your fingers to make a circle. And then we'll wiggle those fingers. Okay, so let's create a tent here. So we'll push elbows up, push, push, push. Feel the strength in the pectorals and into your arm muscles at the biceps there. And then shake that out. And again, we'll create that tent, elbows up, push on your fingers, push, push, push. Feel that vibration in the finger, in the arms. So you feel a strength in the muscles in your arms. And now flatten your palms, elbows up, and release. Okay, nice. Just moving those fingers around. Again, we'll create that tent, elbows up, but not the shoulders. So shoulders down, sternum up, and then elbows at shoulder height. So when you're doing that, you should feel more of the muscles in the thoracic there. So we're lifting the sternum and pushing. Good. Flatten the palms again. So not up too high. Shoulders are down, sternum up, push, 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 and release. Okay, that's nice. And just moving the fingers around. Let's move the wrists around at shoulder height. Rotate your wrists around. And back in the other direction too. Good, moving the fingers and the up and down with the wrists still right at shoulder height. So down and up. And when we come down, just go ahead and enhance that at the wrist there. So we'll push on the back of the knuckles. Both hands. And then release. Okay, nice. Good. So let's rotate the arms here in a circle like this, just a little bit down on the circle here. And back in the other direction too. Okay, good. And then moving the shoulders up and down. Good. Now let's interlock the fingers and take your palms out and up. And as you raise your hands up, as if you're going to push on the ceiling. So even the thumbs and the pinkies, spread those out and take your hands up to the sky here. I'll go ahead and sit down so you can see my hands. So flatten the palms toward the ceiling. And then release. Good, just shaking out the hands. And then one more time, remember when you web your fingers, so you just, whatever's natural, you web your fingers, notice which pinky's on the bottom, and then you just put the other pinky on the bottom and web your fingers the other way. Okay, and then the palms go out, including the thumbs and the pinkies, and then go ahead and reach up through the side body, extend the fingers, the flat palm up to the ceiling. Palms are completely stretched out there. And release. Oh, it's nice. Good. So now let's rotate through the arms here. So when you're sitting and watching TV, you can do some of those finger movements just to stretch through your hands. I mean, you know, you're just sitting there watching a show, you know, you can kind of cross your fingers and interlock your hands. So it can shift the fingers there to get more lubrication. The other thing too that you could do, let's relax the arms for a moment here. The other thing you can do, I need to turn on more air, getting a little warm in here, is, you know, when you're cooking, if you get some oil, get that olive oil and put it on your hands. So that's perfect right there to keep the hands lubricated. And also that oil is really good for the body. And according to Ayurveda, it's recommended to use oil over lotion all the time. But right then, you just do a little teaspoon on your hands, and that can help your knuckles as well with the lubrication there. Drinking olive oil, of course, a teaspoon or a tablespoon a day is the best to lubricate the joints and lubricate the body, but also applying it topically can be good. Now let's take the arms off to the side, and we'll rotate one forward and one backward. You got it. One forward, one backward. Okay, doing our coordination exercises here, working the brain. Okay, good. So which one's forward, which one's backward? And now we'll go the other way. So forward with one and backward with the other. I have to really think about it too. And then you get into it. Then we got a groove. Let's see, am I doing it right? Forward, and this one should be going backward. I don't think I was doing it right. Okay, there you go. We all need to practice. Okay, lower those arms down. So I'm sure you can feel that heat in your shoulders. That's what we're looking for. And let's go ahead and do a few neck rotations here. So slowly circling around. Letting go with the shoulders and just slowly, small rotations, getting larger on that spiral, little by little. Movement there feels so good. Rotating the head around. Take your time, go at your own pace. You can close your eyes. This is a good one to do with the eyes closed. Feel your neck rotating around, wider now. Okay, I heard a couple of noises in there. That was good. Not really a vertebrae adjustment, but I could tell there's more fluidity there now. So let's go off in the other direction, small at the beginning. And then slowly getting larger, spiraling larger. Good, getting wider still. And neutral, come back to neutral. Good, take a deep breath. Okay, chin to chest, looking down, but sitting up straight, chin to chest. And chin up high, open the throat, widen your jaw. Move your jaw around. And then close the mouth and lower the chin down to parallel with the mat. Good, and again, chin to chest, stretch the back of your neck. And stretch the front. Widen the jaw. Close the mouth and lower your chin. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and take the arms off to the side. Sitting up straight, push on your feet. You want the feet wide, and let's reach off to either side. Start to unlock that low back. Make sure that your hands are up high, so you don't want your hands to dip down. So reaching way over there, off to either side. Good, way over there. Good, a couple more movements here, stretching to each side. And release, come on down. Okay, so if you've been looking down at your computer, your technology, your cell phone for a while, and you've been, rounding, and getting that tech neck, hopefully not. Then this would be a fun thing. We'll do the 3 letters. We could call it the village people. I'm not sure what to call it, but we'll start with the Y. So arms out wide, and then center, and then W, and forward, and T. Okay, so again, Y, W, T. Y, you can feel this in the shoulders, W, and T. Good, let's do a few more. Y, so this, you could tell this is fabulous for your shoulders, so simple, and T. So Y, W, someone asked, well, when are you going to do the C? Well, we'll call it the village people, and then everybody will know, oh, okay, yeah. So we need to do the alphabet, Y, W, and T. Y, W, T. Let's do one last time. Y, W, and T. Okay, and then lower down. So you could feel that work the whole shoulder girdle. You could do 3 or 20 of those and just feel the shoulders coming back. The other day we were somewhere, we were outside, but there was a little boy that was sitting there. I guess he was 10 or so, and he was all rounded looking at his game or whatever. And I see people and adults every age like that. This is not good for the body. For starters, it's collapsing the lungs, so you're not able to breathe as well. But also when you're depressed, people slouch and look down. So physically or psychologically, after you've been looking at your computer like that, look up, just look up. It will shift the way you're thinking, even though you weren't looking at sorrowful stuff. Still, just the eyes being in that downward location, that aim, is not good for the psyche. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and take the legs out wide. And we're going to lean forward here. So elbows to thighs or elbows to the chair or hands to the floor. Relax your neck, come all the way down. Take a deep breath, folding in. Give a couple of yeses and a couple of nos. And then roll up, come back up to seated position. Good, so with the legs out wide, this is going to help to lubricate those joints at the hip socket. So we're just getting a little more movement there in that part of the body. We'll do this one more time. Leaning forward for level 2, hands to the floor if you can. Now, if you can't and you're just kind of hovering, I would rather you have elbows to knees. So you're not hovering here, coming down. And then that would be a little more support. So elbows to thighs or hands to the floor. And move your neck around. And then roll up. Come back up to seated position. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and squeeze that right knee to right chest. Level 1 foot down, level 2 foot up. You're squeezing in, still sitting up straight with the rest of the body, and you're pushing on that left foot to give a little more stability. And now we'll extend the right leg out, both hands to your left knee, and then lean forward. Let me show you from the side here. So we're leaning forward, straight spine, so we're not collapsing down. So lifting, we're keeping the sternum up. Okay, good. So let's go off to the other side. Hold the back of the thigh, not the knee, but in the middle of the thigh. Notice what's happening to the spine first. So try to get your spine straight. And then level 1, foot down, and level 2, foot up. Another deep breath. And extend the left leg forward, both hands to your right knee, and we'll hinge forward toward that left toe. Doing good. Another deep breath here. And let's do that again. So squeeze that left knee in, foot high for level 2. Doing good. Find the right position for your spine and the legs. So see if you can get it up just a little bit higher. And now extend it out. Both hands to your left knee as you hinge forward. Good. Keep your breath smooth and steady. Okay, and off to the other side. So both hands to the left leg, left thigh, sitting up straight, foot down for level 1 or up for level 2. Doing good, squeezing that leg in, getting a little bit of movement there in the hamstring. And now we'll take the leg out and lean forward, both hands to your right knee as you hinge forward. And see if you can have the toes up, and that will really enhance the stretch on your left hamstring, the back of your left leg. Okay, and then we'll come back to center. Now, I wanted to teach you this breathing technique. It's just a double inhale. So, and we see that it can be really helpful. So right now, even just practice. So you're going to inhale. So it's a double inhale. So you're going to inhale deeply and then sneak in a little bit more. So inhale. I know it looks funny. I'm demonstrating here, but do that again. So what's happening is we don't just have 2 air sacs, right? We have all the villi, we have all of the air sacs that are in this area of the body. And so when we're inhaling, we're bringing oxygen into those microfibers, into the little air sacs that are in the lungs, and then adding a little bit more. And then when you exhale, you eliminate more of the carbon dioxide than before. Okay, so periodically feel free to do a double inhale and then exhale. So it'll make a difference. You just notice, I'll let you apply it and we'll do it again later. Okay, so let's do John Travolta while we're doing music here. We'll take that right knee off and left leg straight. We're gonna point it out, do our little Saturday Night Live fever, Saturday Night Fever. And let's move full range of motion, right? So reaching the arms in either direction, bending one knee, extending the other leg out. Doing good. Reach and extend. Doing good. You got it. Long body. Reach. Push on the right foot as you're reaching to the left. Okay, so moving, you're really pushing on that back leg, not just a point, but you have some strength in the back leg. Doing good. Reaching off. Okay, good. Let's do one more each way. Reach it to the right and add a little point and the left. Okay, come back to neutral. Oh, good. You can just feel that already, just that little bit, you know, that makes such a nice shift in your body. Okay, getting that circulation. Good. Rock and roll here. Okay, nice. So let's turn to the right for warrior 1. Remember to be slightly forward on the chair. So with that right knee bent, the left leg is in front of the chair completely. So if you're leaning back, it's going to hurt your inner thigh. So a little more forward and let that leg drop down. Level 1, the knees bent. Level 2, the back leg is straight. Inhale the hands up, tilt forward. Take another deep breath, reach and extend. And then lower the hands down. Let's aim in the other direction. Left knee bent. Right knee drops down in front of the chair or knee straight. Inhale, raise your hands up, lean forward slightly so we have a long diagonal with the spine, and push on your left foot as if you're going to step up and out of the chair. Another deep breath here, reach and release, coming down. Let's aim in the other direction. Good. Just take your time, always make sure that you're stable in the chair, because of course we have half of the body off of the chair. So just seeing how that feels. So again, a little bend is fine, but really push down on the back toes so it's not just kind of hanging out back there. Use that back leg, even if there's a bend in the knee, that's fine. And then lean forward. Okay, reach and extend. Let's interlock the fingers, point that index finger and bring your elbows up by your ears as much as you can. Work those shoulders. Another deep breath here. And release. We'll aim in the other direction. You know, it's nice to do some of these same postures because you can sense for yourself that you're getting better. It's easier, you know what to expect. Remember to interlace your fingers. So the other finger, the other pinky is on the bottom, and we'll lean forward here. Good. I hope occasionally you're trying that level 3 just to see, oh, could I step up out of the chair? No. And if you can, great. And if you can't, that's okay too. But it is nice to have the variations. So we'll come back to neutral. Let's scoot forward to the front edge of the chair with the knees wide. Let's do a trunk rotation here. Good. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. Here would be a good time to do that double inhale. And exhale. Double inhale. Exhale. So inhale deeply, and then another little sneak of air in there. And release. Doing good. Let's go back in the other direction. Circling around. Okay, circle. Getting that body to respond. Okay, so with the feet wide, just about shoulder width, let's do our side bends here. Right hand reaches left. Left hand hanging onto the chair or reaching down toward the mat. Keep your neck long and push on the right buttock so you feel that right hip dropping down as you reach your right hand away from it. Don't like scooch over. Don't scooch over too far. Don't fall off your chair, please. Let's try the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, tilt. And so look for the feeling, not just in the shoulder girdle, but look for the feeling in the side body. If you had a shoulder injury, you could just have your hand on your shoulder or even on your hip, and you would still feel a good stretch there in the side body. So you don't have to use the arm. Okay, good. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, tilt. So again, hand to the chair to hang on or reaching down to the floor. You could have your hand in your lap to give a little more support if that helps. And then again, you're pushing on the right buttocks as you reach to the left. And let's try the other way too. Inhaling up, exhale, tilt. Good. And then reaching to the left, neck is long, pushing on the left buttocks as you reach to your right. Good. And then coming out of that. Let's go into a seated forward fold. We'll take the leg straight forward. I'll show you here from the side. Good. And now we're going to slide down and reach down toward your knees or your ankles. A little different from the one we were doing earlier. So just folding in, take another deep breath. Point your nose toward your knees. And inhale, lift up. This time, let's flex the feet and lift the toes up. Begin to slide back down the legs. You want to feel this in the back of the legs. Let the hamstrings release, soften your shoulders, and aim your nose toward your knees. And inhale, lift up. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and cross right ankle to left thigh. Seated pigeon. Rotate your ankle a few times. Good. Let's go back in each direction. So again, we can do that inhale here. Let's do the double inhale. Inhale. And there is that tendency to kind of hold the breath a little bit because we've just inhaled twice, but you don't need to hold the breath. So just inhale and then exhale. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and sit in this cross position pigeon, and we're going to add the twist. We're just turning to the side, being gentle, not trying to crank into any deep twisting. Wrist to the knee or coming down lower, elbow to knee. Some of you are pretty limber, and you can bring the hands together as in prayer position or namaste position as we're crossing, bringing that left elbow to your right knee. But if that's too much, just the wrist is fine, and we can hold the back of the chair just to help us turn off to the side here a little bit. And then back to center and release. Okay, good. Feeling the body, do a little wiggle, move organically anytime. And we'll go off to the other side. Good. Ankle to thigh. We'll rotate the ankle a few times. Double inhale. So if you can, I'm exhaling through my mouth, but if you can, try to do it in and out through your nose as much as you can. You'll get more out of the filtering system of the nose and the lungs when you breathe through your nose. But for the teaching purposes and the fact that I'm talking, then I exhale through my mouth frequently during class. So let's go ahead and turn to the side here. So wrist to knee, turning to the left, or making it more intense, elbow to knee. And you can place your hands there at prayer position. So it's pigeon with a twist. We're looking off to the side. But if that's too much, then it's just your wrist, you're hanging on there. We're turning and opening out to your left. Take another deep breath. And come back to center. Awesome. Okay, so let's do it one more time. This time we're going to hold here in the middle and see if you can lean forward any. So level 1 is leaning back, slouching even. Level 2, sitting up straight, and level 3, leaning forward. So my hands are just gently on my shin here. I'm not pushing down on my leg at all. So even though my hand's on the knee, I'm not pushing on it. Just want to be mindful of that. We need those knees to stay healthy. Let's go up to the other side. Feels so good, doesn't it? You can just feel the body responding. Okay. And again, leaning back for level 1, sitting up straight for level 2, or leaning forward for level 3. And then we'll focus a little bit more on that hip and hamstring releasing here. This is great for the sciatic nerve. Okay, good. Nice. So let's take the legs straight. We'll do a seated forward fold here. Inhale, exhale, reach for your knees, ankles, or toes, coming all the way down. Seated forward fold. And then inhale and lift up. Good. Roll your shoulders back. Roll the shoulders back. Good. And forward. And back. And forward. That's great. Okay, so let's do that pigeon one more time. We're going to sit ankle to thigh. And this time, let's reach the right arm to the left arm like a lever, and then turn and look to the right while you reach to the left. Take another deep breath here, holding, and notice what's happening to the right shoulder. Make sure the shoulder is down and that your chin is over the shoulder, not at the shoulder or below it. Try to bring the chin over your shoulder. Release the neck first, so aim forward and then release your arms, and then we'll release the legs. Okay, so we just want to be mindful of twisting and what's happening with your neck. And anytime that you're doing something with your neck, bring your neck back to neutral first. Okay, and then start untwining the rest of the posture. So left arm reaches right, right arm like a lever. Okay, and notice the shoulder, so the shoulder's dropping down so that your chin can look over the shoulder, looking to your left while you reach to your right. Take another deep breath. You're doing good. Hold here. And chin forward or neck neutral back toward me, and then release the arms and the legs. Okay, feel good. Let's go ahead and march in place. Okay, just marching in place. Level 1, foot up. Level 2, knee up. Move it just a little slower if that leg goes up higher. Okay, good. Kick out. Now, you can not use your hands, or you could do what is natural, which is opposite hand to foot. Like when you're walking, the opposite hand goes forward with the leg. Okay, so reaching way over there. Maybe you can touch your ankle or your foot. Reach. Sit up straight. Good. Deep breath. Okay, let's do one more. Reaching for the right foot and the left foot, and relax. Okay, a little spurt of energy there, a little spurt of activity. And that's something, you know, if you feel that maybe depressed isn't the right word, sorrowful, or maybe there's just a lull in the day when it's like, whatever's going on. And right then you could, you know, march in place or in a seated chair, and it'll shift the way you're thinking. It'll shift your blood flow, and it can make a difference. You know, if you feel a little lull in the day, just something simple like that makes a difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into a standing forward fold here. So take a deep breath and exhale, reach for the chair, leaning over the chair. Now let's do, now that we're here, make sure that you have a straight line with the legs from the hips down to your heels, a straight line. So you don't want to be at an angle. So not that one, just straight down. And then a little bend in the knees. And let's do a standing cat and cow, rounding and tucking. And you could be on your knuckles here. That can be easier on the wrists. Arching and rounding. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Okay, let's come up to standing mountain pose. Okay, so let's stand behind the chair and we'll do some lunges here. I found fitness to be so helpful for me emotionally. I was talking about having a little lull in the day, or, just the trauma that we've all been through. I mean, we were all coping to the best of our ability. And when I first got into, okay, so Warrior 2, you can hang on. But when I first started exercising, this was after high school. So I was a cheerleader in high school, so I was exercising regularly then. But then there was a little lull, and then I found exercise again. And why I continued exercising was for the emotional benefits. Yeah, I mean, you become leaner and muscular and things like that. But the first thing was really the emotional benefit. And then that kept me doing it for most of my life. It was like, oh, I just feel the endorphins. I feel so much better, more optimistic. Okay, so let's lift up. We're going to pivot forward and off to the other side. Warrior 2. Because obviously we keep waking up here. So obviously this is where God wants us to be. And so, okay, I'm still me. I'm still here. How can I serve? What do you need me to do today, God? And there's some days where it's just like, oh my God, it's just unsurmountable. How can I handle all this? And then, okay, then the next day, okay, I'm ready again. Let me give it another try. So let's lift up and we'll pivot forward and off to the other side. I know it's a little slower when you're in tennis shoes on your mat like I am. If you're barefoot, you could probably pivot a lot easier. But we want to let's hold this lunge here for a little while and feel the strength in the legs, because this is a great way to build the largest muscles in your body, your leg muscles. So, all of these kind of lunges, this would be really good right before you go to walk your dog. Just do a couple of stretches like this before and after you walk. Let's lean here for side angle. So leaning, right elbow to right thigh, left hand to the chair or left hand high. And then, you can hang on with your right hand on the chair if you need that support. Or level 2, reach for your ankle. As you're hovering in the air, what's working then are the core muscles. And so that gives you a little more strength there, a little more strength training. So we'll lift up, we're going to pivot and aim in the other direction. Take your time, start with that Warrior 2. Good, notice the shoulders, feel the shoulders dropping down. Let's lean, side angle. Good, and feel your low back unlocking. I just love this posture to open up that low back. Makes such a big difference. Push on your back foot, so push on the right foot as you reach your right hand away from it. And again, if you have a shoulder issue, you're going to have a little more of a bend in the elbow, which is fine. You could even have your hand on your shoulder so that you're focusing more on the side bend instead of the shoulder extension. Another deep breath. And we'll change directions. Good. First, let's come back to neutral. Let's take a little pause here. When the legs are wide like that, we are working the inner thigh. So that's helpful if you still have some stamina and strength that you'd like to stay in the posture a little longer. Let's roll over the toes, heel and toe raises. If you don't need to hang on, try not to. Okay, good. So this time, let's keep the legs wide and we'll do triangle. So I'm gonna move this chair out of the way so that you can see what I'm doing here. Let's set that off to the side. So when we're in triangle, let's do it here. Let's just do a hip rock. Knees are straight and you'll do the hip rock. Of course, you could be hanging on to the chair if you need that support. So you're moving the hips back and forth. So here's a rock. And then a swing. We're going to go forward and backward now. So I'm kind of moving my hand so you can see. So really focus on the hips moving instead of the whole torso. Okay. And now we'll stand here for triangle. Legs are straight. The hips will go back or to the left. And then we're going to reach out to the right. Right hand to right leg. and then left hand to your chair or left hand to the sky. Now, when you're in this position, this is a side bend. You want to feel this in the side and in the low back a little bit here on the left side. So as you're hovering here, you can lean on your leg to give a little support, but try not to lean forward. Just be on a side bend here, even if you're up a little higher, say hand to thigh to give you support. So you still have a stretch there in the side body. Now from here, just for safety, we want to bend the right knee as you lift up and come out of that, and that can help a little bit. So we'll go off in the other direction. Again, you have your chair right in front of you. Okay, and so we'll do the hip rock, going back and forth. I know it's a little awkward, but this helps. It helps to shift the femur. It helps to shift the pelvis with the low back, with the knees straight. So a little different. Okay, good. And then a swing and a rock. Okay, so we're going forward and backward with those hips. Okay, and then the hips go back. So we're going to push the hips out toward the right, reach to the left, and left hand to left leg. Again, if you need to, you can have your left hand on your left thigh to give a little support there, right hand to the chair. But I think many of you can reach down for your shin, still with the hand on the chair or hand up high. And remember, we're going to spin that lower rib cage forward. So if you're down too low, you're not going to have any movement there. We want to be on the side. And so we'll reach down to the side and unlock that low back. See if you can have a push on your right foot and see if you can find a little more space here in the low back and the lumbar sacrum area. Okay, a little bend in the knee as we lift up and come out, and we pivot forward first with the feet and then come back to neutral. Stand tall, mountain pose. Get comfortable standing tall. I've decided I really like tennis shoes. I was thinking about standing tall on my tippy toes. I really like tennis shoes. They are so much easier to wear. Okay, so let's do our squats here before we go into meditation. I wore high heels like a lot of women for years, decades. And I'm really happy that I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sure you are too. Okay, good. Down and up. Okay, you know, if you have tender knees, it's just a little bit of a bend. Otherwise, we're going down low for level 3, and hands on the chair or on your thighs. If the hand, I like the hands on the thighs because I feel my leg muscles and that kind of, okay, I can tell I'm working out. When the hands go up, of course, it's harder. And so it's going to elevate your heart rate and make it a little harder to breathe. So, you know, that's level 3, but just having the hands here that you really feel a strength in the legs, you know, they're doing their job. Let's lift up, keep the legs wide. Take a deep breath. And here we can do that double inhale again. Okay, let's pop on down again for level 3. Good, and stick your booty out. So no cramping. If you're feeling cramping in the legs, that means that you're tucking a little too much. So you can stick your booty out behind you, hands to thighs or hands up high for level 3. Working those legs, engage your abs so you're feeling the abdominal muscles taut and still breathing deeply. Do it good. And lift. Okay, pivot forward and then push to come back to neutral. Stand tall. Nice, that's good. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get a little sip of water and we'll go into meditation. In meditation, we want to discipline the mind like we discipline the body. So now we were exercising and telling the body to do certain things, and it was obedient. It was doing what we say. And then now when we sit in meditation, now we're going to discipline the mind. And so just because you have a thought doesn't mean you're going to keep entertaining it, right? But we have to create a neurological network for focus, for intention, for becoming single-minded. And so the brain is going to keep, firing off, just like, your body wants to fidget and move around and touch stuff and all of that. Then when we sit still, so still disciplining the body, so you tell the body to not move at all for the next 7 to 10 minutes. And then we can focus on just what's happening in the brain. And then this can help us to create a space of discipline in the mind and focus and, allowing us to become aware and more conscious and not just following just any old thought that floats through the head. Every thought has validity or value. No. So, some of those, just let those go. And so for now, for the next couple of minutes, if you could dim your lights. And, I cue that to look at the point between the eyebrows, but if that creates any strain in the eyes at all, then just look down, let your eyes be completely relaxed if that's a strain. Become aware of your breath. And no need to breathe extra now or double inhale. Now's the time just to let go. There is a place of peace and wisdom that is inside you. Revisit this place just by becoming aware of your breath. Look for that place of peace now. It might even be doors. Imagine doors opening. And as the doors open, you see the light at the end of the doors, of that hallway of doors. And now as you see the light, allow it to get bigger and brighter. And just imagine your light, the torus growing all around you. Allow your radiant light beaming from your heart out and around like a fountain or a wheel. And imagine the light expanding so that you are protected in this field. And feel the body relax a little more as you recognize or sense a shield of protection around you. And notice the body quieting down. If the mind has wandered off, that's okay. Gently come back and feel the breath. Feel your breath flowing through your nostrils. And know that this is lowering your blood pressure and reducing your heart rate. As you melt into the chair, your body can return to deep homeostasis to repair itself. Silently affirm rest and repair. Rest and repair. Continue to breathe comfortably and notice the small pause between the inhale and the exhale. Become intimately aware of your body breathing. Rest and repair. Continue relaxing all the way down. Nothing to hang on to now. Feel your body becoming limp and loose and completely relaxed. If the mind has wandered off, that's okay. Gently come back to the point between the eyebrows and gently feel the breath flowing through the nostrils. Feel that connection to Creator and allow the presence of God to flow through you. And feel that warmth and that grace coming to you to lift your spirit and give you optimism, motivation. Imagine sorrow dropping down into the earth for recycling. And inhale enthusiasm, optimism and joy. Take another breath and feel the body relax even more. Continue to strengthen your chi, building that light body all around you so you feel stable and safe. Soon we're going to come back. Be sure to bookmark this place and revisit throughout the day by becoming aware of your breath. As you begin to come back, have that feeling of appreciation for yourself and your practice today, for your discipline and your curiosity. Slowly coming back, softly moving your fingers and toes. Coming back now, we'll begin to reach the arms out, stretch the arms up. Deep breath. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. Have a moment of gratitude for your connection to Creator, your life, and family. And as you continue your day, just share your joy with everyone. Namaste.